Jesus Christ should be our model for leadership. And it sounds cliche, but I think it's a lot harder to live that out than we often experience. I think when you look at Jesus Christ, you see someone who portrayed a leadership that doesn't look like any other kind of leadership. So it was a leadership where, yes, he talked in front of huge crowds and told people how they should live their lives, but he also knelt and washed the feet of his disciples. He also touched those who society considered untouchable and healed them and fed people who were hungry. So when we look at Jesus as our model for leadership, it really does change what that means. And that's the constant challenge we all have, is to live into that kind of leadership. It's certainly what I try to. None of us are ever going to be quite the servant leader that Jesus was. There's a reason why he was able to do things that we don't always fully embody, but that's the model. It's not the kind of leadership that's always lifted up by the world, but I think it does exist when you look in the church in just so many different ways, not always the most obvious, but your grandmother who bakes a meal for someone or just sends a card, a little kid who gives somebody a hug on a Sunday morning at church. Those things that don't seem like you're a leader, they're not going to write about that in a leadership book or a leadership conference, but that's what, when we really live into our calling as followers of Christ, we see that kind of leadership just growing naturally out of what we do.